Hi. So while the other video is uploading, I want to come in and keep talking about this because there's more that wants to be said. And I've been writing about this in the podcast, in my posts on Facebook and in the podcasts over the past week and a half. But what's coming up to be said in this video is more about the separation consciousness and how some of us are shifted into that consciousness at a young age and really get to a point of feeling alone in all things. And this is a real concept. For those of you who don't have a clue, thank God. For those of you who do, who this is going to resonate with strongly, hugs to you. Some of us we went through some kind of trauma, either the loss of a twin in utero. Yes, that is a thing. For those who aren't familiar, it is something that we find in healing that comes up for people that can really, really push them into feeling like something's missing in their life. This deep yearning. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that now. For more on that, check out the podcasts. So losing a twin in utero or at an early age, enduring a trauma, often involving a family member that is supposed to make you feel safe and someone who's supposed to be in a place of loving you, and instead you suffer from them, and so you feel like you have to go it alone because it's not safe to go through life with people who you think are supposed to be loving you and supporting you, and so it pushes you into that aloneness. So those are some of the examples of things, the ones that are coming up most in what I'm seeing with clients and in the healing world right now. That's been my experience of how people move into this consciousness. So what does that mean? It means, in essence, that these people feel like they need to go it alone. They can be and it becomes such a default setting that they can be in a room surrounded by people who love them, surrounded by their best friends, surrounded by people who they feel supported by, and still feel alone. They can be with someone who they feel intimately connected with and still feel this baseline of, I am alone. They will often be extremely independent and efficient, self-sufficient, and have a hard time really opening up. Even though they can talk to friends and talk to people about stuff, it's likely they're not really opening up about the greatest hurts that they endure. And it will take meeting up with someone really special to be able to start opening up about those things. And there's this whole healing that these people need to go through, that those of us who shifted into that separation consciousness at a very, very young age in a very, I want to say, brutal kind of way. And again, from 0 to 5, I want to say before 0, and utero to 5, sometimes things can happen that really aren't so brutal. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not, but we digest it as brutal. So in any case, we get pushed into this, deep into the separation consciousness, and then it can take a while for us to learn, the way I referred to it in the podcast that I did last night. It's like learning how to walk when you're an adult. Learning to open up to people, learning that you're not alone, and shifting into that connection consciousness. It's a beautiful journey, but it is slow and painful and hesitant for those of us who go through it. We're very wary of being hurt again. We are wary of trusting others and being able to open up to others. Wary of making connections, but then we can find someone who we deeply, deeply connect with, and we just, okay, because we were able to have a deep connection in the first place that broke in some way. So we recognize the ability to, yes, have that deep connection when someone like that comes up for us again, and we get enthralled by it. It's a process. It's a process to unfold, to open up, and to move back into connection consciousness, which isn't hard per se because it's our default. We all started out as souls. It's something that we recognize, but it is still something that we might have to relearn, let's say. Um, so anyway, if this resonates for you, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. If you want to hear more about this, again, hop over the podcasts or the posts. And if you want another video about it, if you don't get to the podcasts and the posts and you want more about this, then please write that below, and I'd be happy to do so. All right, sending love, and give yourself lots of love, and be very gentle with yourself over these next 2 days or so. It's a real time to just go inward and pamper ourselves and really be gentle with ourselves. A lot of us have gone through a lot in the past week and a half. A lot of jarring stuff, a lot of clearing. So now's the time for self-love. All right. Bye.